know currently. We have 3 piles today. 1, 2, 3. Take a moment to get in touch with your intuition and your higher self and pick the pile you feel most drawn to. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading today. Thank you guys so much for all the support you bring to my channel, whether it be liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, hitting the super thanks button, leaving donations, making purchases, anything that you guys do to support my channel and the work that I do here. I really appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea how even just taking that small amount of time to like or share or comment on my posts really helps me out. Not to mention, when you guys put the things you're going through down there, it helps you to heal and it helps other people who come by and read it to heal as well. So all good things. Make sure that you guys do that. And we are going to get started with pile 1. So, pile 1. See what we got here. I went ahead and decided, since we're doing random messages today, that I would put a random bag with this one, a random bag with that one, and a random bag with that one. So this is the bag we're pulling messages from for this one. Let's see what pile 1 has going on that they need to know about. Once in a blue moon, you're going to have a lot of luck and blessings and abundance coming into you, possibly even in the love life area. The song that's coming to mind right now is Blue Ain't Your Color. It's reminding me of an older guy I was friends with that he really was very father-like. Like, the moment I told him I wasn't interested, he was fine, he was respectful, and he actually acted kind of like a father. He was a really good guy in ways, because everybody has their shadow side, right? And he had a past. This also reminds me of a rape whistle. Somebody sent it to me for my dogs so I could whistle for them really loud. But it reminds me of a rape whistle too, especially since it's red. You may have gone through some sort of abuse in the past. Angry orchard, you may have even been really angry about it, or somebody else could be really angry about it because they don't like seeing you hurt or sad or upset in some way. Everything that you have been through, you have really worked hard to heal, to grow, to protect yourself, to love yourself, to learn how to defend yourself. There's a lot of luck on your side. Some of you could have even found a 4-leaf clover recently. I found a 4-leaf clover recently. It's the first one I've ever actually found by myself in my life. That was pretty cool. I was pretty excited about that. And right before, I was like, you know what? I realized I got 4 of them from somebody last year, but it would be great if I could find my own 4-leaf clover, besides the patch of 4-leaf clovers that me and my girls found a couple of years ago that just disappeared off the face of the planet because we never saw it again. We went back to that place and it wasn't there. We have pictures of it even. But anyway, I turned around and there's a 4-leaf clover. So it's going to be like just all of a sudden out of fucking nowhere. There's going to be some sort of gigantic blessings coming into you. Some sort of opportunity that's like once in a blue moon. Something that does not happen very often. Some of you could be getting invited out to go have a drink as well. Or some of you might actually even have dealt with somebody that was an angry alcoholic at some point. This person could have actually been up on their pedestal, like bashing you in some sort of way as well. And there might be some sort of truth getting ready to be exposed about this person. Somebody might actually have proof or evidence of something that happened in a situation as well. And you might be thinking that no one believes me, I don't even care anymore. You might even be just completely done being worried about it even anymore. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like you're proven right. Some of you may even be taking the stage to speak about the things that you have gone through as well, or to sing about the things that you have gone through. There might be an opportunity coming your way in the songwriting or song singing category. Some of you, there could be something to do with golf here too, or golfing. The strength, the wisdom, the stability of your ancestors is with you and behind you every step of the way. If you need to get grounded, take yourself outside in nature and be around some trees, because that will really help you to be grounded. And this is from an oak tree, one of the strongest trees there is, and it comes from this tiny little acorn here. I think it's an oak tree. I'm really not sure, guys. If I'm wrong, correct me. And do it nicely, please. 455. Changes are coming your way. And these changes are going to surprise you. You are going to be surprised that a seed so small could grow something so fucking amazingly huge and big and have so many opportunities, so much luck, abundance, fertility is coming into your life. And it's a lot of it's because of your purity, because of, even though everything you went through and even though you have some rough edges, you are actually a very pure person at the heart of you and at the soul of you. Embrace your independence, Aliyah. So a lot of this abundance and luck is coming in as well because you have decided to free yourself from everybody else's thoughts, opinions, ideas of what you should be doing with your life. You're going your own way and you're really building your own road. You're deciding, nah, I don't really want to go down that road there. I would much rather go down a road that is my own. The song, Mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. And they're telling us you need to wake up and make money. Remember when we were kids and we used to have big dreams and we would build a rocket ship and fly it to the moon, but now they're telling us you need to wake up and make money? I feel like a lot of you guys went, oh, fuck no, that's not happening. I'm going to work on what I want to work on because I've sacrificed everything for everyone for far too fucking long. And now it is my turn to do something for me. Severe anger issues, emotional suppression, exploding like a volcano. They are crafty, but not crafty enough. People are seeing the truth. Once again, somebody's going to be getting some heavy karma for whatever they did. And people are seeing the truth now. People are seeing the truth now, especially somebody may actually be exploding because they've been holding back and holding everything in. There's a difference between emotional regulation and emotional suppression. And this person looks like somebody who's very well emotionally regulated, but they are actually emotionally suppressed. And you are one of the very rare people who actually know this about this person, because this person may actually come off as somebody that doesn't really have many problems at all. But people are going to be finding out different because people are going to be seeing the real them. The real them is going to be too hard to hold back or keep out of the spotlight. I feel the world owes me and I don't want to work for it. Constant fear and paranoia are plaguing them. Everything they have done will be returned to the sender. They will have to come to you for help and admit their lies. So, somebody is going to have to admit the things they've done. They're going to have to take accountability. They're going to have to express the truth of the things that they lied to you about. And they're going to be coming to you to seek your help. And a car that passed by me the other day said, always be humble across the windshield. And that just flashed in my mind. So remember that when this happens, to be humble. Think about Joseph. Joseph, King of Dreams, great movie. And it's a good Bible story too, but I do really love the DreamWorks version of that movie. And in that movie, when his family came after selling him for 10 pieces of silver into slavery, they came and he set up the youngest member of the family. Basically, he set himself up because that kid was basically in the position he was in when he was sold, to be arrested for stealing. And every one of his brothers was willing to sacrifice their life for that child. And he asked them why they would do that for the spoiled youngest child that isn't even your full brother. And they told him because they made a mistake once before and they never want to make that mistake again. So I feel like this person has learned their lesson in some sort of way. There is definitely somebody who has learned their lesson in some sort of way. And this person was feeling very entitled in the past. They were really doing a lot of fucked up shit. They may have been very manipulative in some sort of way. And they were really scapegoating possibly you. There could definitely have been some scapegoating here. And this person may have been blaming you for a lot of the things that they were doing or a lot of the problems that they were causing in the situation you were in with them. But this person now is being seen through, and this person also, I don't think they're really caring so much about being seen anymore as the need to heal these things. And I feel like this person has watched you heal a lot of similar issues within yourself, and they don't know how to do it. So they are going to be coming to you to seek your help. Or there may even be somebody who's going through that themselves that's going to be coming to you seeking your help, because you are somebody who has been through similar situations. 947. Somebody was definitely traveling through the darkness, traveling through a dark night of the soul. This is reminding me too of the other day when I was talking to somebody about my ex, because somebody on my Facebook page got on to the post that I wrote when I posted my swimsuit. I wrote the same thing on my Facebook page. And somebody got on there and was saying something about it's his loss because he missed out on you, and said a few other things. I don't remember exactly what she said, but I was like, yeah, but here's the thing. He also went through the same thing as well. He lives that way, and he hasn't changed it. He feels like he has to be absolutely perfect all the time, and nobody can ever see anything that's flawed about him. Otherwise, nobody will love him, and everybody will turn away from him. And honestly, I would really like him to heal, so that he could feel loved and so that he can give love in the right ways. Not only because that's at the core, that's who I am. Even when I get angry and shit and I'm upset, once I settle down, I'm back to, I would like them to heal. Especially considering the fact that he's the father of my children and they are half him. And until he shows them how to heal that half of themselves, they're going to have a really hard time healing that half of themselves. That's one of the reasons I've worked so hard to heal myself, is so that I can show them how to heal those parts of them. Little brother, little sister, siblings, younger friends, responsibilities. The delicate fairy and her ferrets. Change is natural, good, and yes, it can hurt. So this could have something to do with your siblings as well. This could have something to do with your siblings, an ex, or a parental figure. All of those things are coming to mind. Possibly even like a group of friends at some point. You might have had like a group of 3 friends. Poe's brave flight. You will not let fear stop you this time. Edgar Allan Poe. And the lost Lenore. And also, what else is coming to mind is the movie Holes. I don't know if anybody here has ever seen the movie Holes, but the black woman, or the black man and the white woman, the school teacher, and the school teacher was the one that like everybody in town wanted, the school teacher. And the school teacher really didn't want to have anything to do with any of them, especially since, the one that was really wanting her was the biggest bully in town because he had all the money and blah, blah, blah. And he was busy making fun of people because they couldn't read in the class that he's taking to learn how to read too. But the black guy spent all of his time fixing up her schoolhouse for her, and she spent her time making him some of her peaches and things like that. And slowly they fell in love, and it was back during the Wild West time. So imagine the Wild West time and a black man and a white woman falling in love. So whatever the situation that you might be going into is something that is very rare, once in a lifetime type of situation. You're not going to let fear hold you back. You're not going to let everybody else tell you what to do. And you have decided that you're going to let love lead the way. That you are going to dive into this fully, regardless of whether or not people think it's right, regardless of whether or not people want you to be in this situation. And no matter their opinions, their judgments, or the bullshit they're throwing your way, you're done with that. Because this is the path that you have chosen to take. Annabelle Lee is the name of that other poem that made me think of the movie Holes. It's by Edgar Allan Poe too. And this is also reminding me of, there was a story I watched. There's a story on YouTube somewhere that is the native story of a crow and how it became black and why it has the colorful shine to its feathers the way it does. Because it used to be colorful too. And I can't remember exactly why it ended up becoming black, but it had something to do with helping everyone around it. And in the process, it ended up losing its color and becoming black like that. And then, over time, everybody decided that that animal was evil because it was black, when in fact, that animal did something so good, and that's where that darkness came from. It's amazing, really, really good people at times get extremely, extremely hurt by somebody. And then they end up in that dark night of the soul, and they end up in that villain era. There's a song called Villain Era too. It's a really good song. Because they're trying to protect their heart, because they're trying to protect themselves, they get into a very defensive energy or paranoid or fearful energy. And it can cause a lot of problems in their lives or the lives of others around them. For some of you, you might actually be repairing some of the connections in your life that are really good. And there could have been something that happened between you where a fight broke out, or where people lost their temper and people said things they didn't mean to say and people hurt each other. But this is going to be coming back together in a very good way, as long as everybody can set their pride aside. Pride goeth before a fall. On Dee's Storytime, you can find a link for that in my description box below. That's my poetry channel. There's a poem on there called Pride Goeth Before a Fall. Really good poem, and that will fit with that if you're resonating with that as well. Because if all you have left is your pride, you're going to be alone, and it's going to be a long, cold ride. So don't cling to your pride so much that you aren't allowing forgiveness or open-mindedness to enter the field. There's going to be truth coming forward to you. Somebody's going to be bringing you truth about how much you mean to them, about how much you have helped them transform their life, about how much you've helped them to rise up out of that darkness. And they're going to be seeking you out to help them rise from that darkness if they haven't yet. You're going to be getting a lot of recognition. A lot of success is going to be coming your way. And it's going to start out small and little at first. People are a little bit hesitant about the amount of power that you hold in your hands when they bring you these truths. Because you could literally crush their heart and soul in half a second if you decided to. And remember, guys, if this is resonating, to support my channel in the ways you can, like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a timestamp, a donation, hit the little super thanks button, or think about making a purchase. Everything that you guys do in that way really does help me out so much, and I appreciate you guys so much for doing any of that. Thank you, guys. It helps me out, and it helps a lot of other people out, because they get to find these messages too, and it helps them to pull themselves out of certain things or to understand their situations a bit better. So once again, thank you guys for that. Hearth. Happiness in our hearts and our homes. Home is where the heart is too. Some of you, it could have taken you a little while to find your heart again too. To unbury it, to unfreeze it, to thaw it. Because it could have been frozen for a little bit. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold me back anymore. I don't care what they're going to say. The cold never bothered me anyway. And what's funny is I was going to do a live reading a while back, and it glitched out on me. I was going to do a live reading about, what are we talking about? The cold always bothered us, and that's the problem and the solution. Because if it bothers us so much, why the fuck would we want to live in it? And all we really got to do is reach out to see that we are not alone. When she took off like that and felt she was alone in this world and everybody hated her, her sister went and found her, because her sister loved her. And her sister convinced everybody else that she's not evil. We all love her. Mummy, change. Trick or treat, mischief, and play. So yeah, somebody definitely was screwing around with you in some way, or somebody was doing something that they shouldn't have been doing. Somebody was really wearing a mask, or they were pretending to be something that they weren't. Somebody could have even ghosted out on you, or somebody could have been really wearing this mask of like perfection, of I can do no wrong, and everybody was really believing that. And now they're going to be seeing the truth. Maybe even you might have spoke some truths about some of the things that you see about this person that they didn't realize that you saw. Maybe they thought that you were blind to some of these things, and maybe you kind of recognized them and spoke these truths. And maybe this is part of what is helping them to free themselves and take that accountability as well, especially since you don't hate them for it. 911. September could be an important month too. Somebody could have been born in September. I'm going to grab one more message out of here too. This person is a blessing blocker, and they will have no blessings. So somebody's really reaping a lot of heavy karma at this time. for some of the things that they did to you, to block you or to cause you fear or to cause you anxiety or to cause you to feel like you had nobody in your corner and no support, or maybe even somebody might have spent a lot of time telling people things about you that weren't true as well, and it could have even been the things that they did to you that they were trying to accuse you of doing to them. And this person has been going through a lot of karma or is going to start going through a lot of karma. And at this point in time, you are going to be rising up. You're going to be having a lot of once-in-a-lifetime opportunities coming your way and a lot of luck and abundance coming into you. And it's because you're very blessed for your ability to fight, to remain as pure-hearted, as loving as you are at this time, and also the amount of protection that you have over your path and your purpose in this life. It's also because you've decided not to care what anybody thinks or believes about you or what anybody's saying about you or what anybody thinks you should be doing with your life. You've decided to once again go your own way and to not worry so much about what anybody else is doing or believing. The song Thunder from Imagine Dragons is also coming to mind right now. A lot of you in this pile could use music for messages a lot of times. You may actually even listen to a lot of random songs, and it's really good for you at this time to randomly click on some of those songs. Maybe you haven't been doing it as often lately, but randomly click on some of those songs because they're going to be bringing you a lot of messages, and it's time to clear out that old stagnant energy and start bringing in some of the new energy, which is what clicking on some of those random songs is going to do for you. And Moonlight Scorpio is a great artist as well. I was trying to think of, there was a particular song of hers that came to mind. Money flow quickly, money flow easy. Every dime I spend back in my pocket, make it times 3. Money flow thickly, money flow swiftly. For the good of all and harm to none, it's on its way to me. So you got a lot coming to you. And it's time to start focusing on that and manifesting it. Maybe you've been listening to a lot of sad music lately, which is where that blue is not your color is coming from. So maybe you've been listening to a lot of sad music lately, or you've been really hurt and down a bit. But just shifting your playlist is really going to help uplift you at this time. So that's what I got for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I would love to hear what you guys thought about it, whether or not it resonated, what you might be going through, those kinds of things. And remember, this is pretty much an anonymous zone for you guys to be able to vent in, so you can share your stories and you can help heal yourselves as well as others by doing that. There's a lot of traffic this morning, really loud traffic, guys. Sorry about that. Anyway, and also you support me in the process as well and the work that I'm doing, which helps me to be able to support myself as I'm here to support all of you. So remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a timestamp, donation, hit the little super thanks button. All those things help me out so much, guys, and I appreciate you for doing it. I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys. So pile 2 for you guys. Let's see what you need to know right now. Register your card. Stop. Somebody may be having to register for something in particular. Prepaid balance, online purchases, payments. Somebody may be actually getting a loan that you've been hoping to get, or some of you could actually even be getting a gift as well, or giving a gift. For 1 or 2 of you, there may also be a sign for you to stop giving to a certain person as well. And I don't say that often at all because I am a very big proponent of give, because when you give, you get. It's kind of like the casinos down in Nevada. They used to give so much away. They would comp people's food and their rooms, and Red Lion and Elko actually had flights that flew in. And they comped a lot of those people's flights and flew them in for free because they would spend enough money there that it actually made it a good thing to fly them in for free and then to shuttle them around the city and stuff. And around the time that the recession hit, Red Lion sold. And then they decided to get rid of their flights, and they decided all the casinos down there stopped giving anything away. They really tightened everything up. They stopped giving complimentary meals and rooms to their employees who gave it to their friends or their family. And their friends or family would come in from out of town and stay there, and they would spend a lot of money. My grandma actually used to come in from out of town occasionally when we lived in Elko, and my mom worked at the casino, and so she'd be able to comp a meal for everybody or comp a room for them while they were there, and they would actually stay and play while they were there. And when they stopped giving, they stopped getting as much. Those casinos became kind of a ghost town for a while, especially with the recession there. But if they would have been giving out, they would have been receiving a lot more. Or like how stockmen stopped cashing the miners' paychecks. That's the biggest paychecks in the city. And a lot of those guys were older single men that spent most of their money at the casinos or right down the road at the whorehouses. And, you know, when you stop cashing their paychecks, they're no longer coming to your business because you didn't want to give. Now you know, now you have no money because they didn't spend it there. 40, 30, 15, 32, 16, 11, 57. Somebody could have a 2-year-old. 6/27. June 27th could be important. Could have been 5 days after something else happened, and there could have been something different that happened after that. 41, 26, 68, 28, 40, 17, 50, 35, 64. 888. Once again, with this abundance energy, there's a lot of abundance going to be coming into you. There might actually be a reconciliation of somebody that you haven't seen in a couple years that just kind of disappeared. They may have been extremely hurt and they had to go deal with the pain that they had, or they could have even been dealing with somebody that was a little over the top. There was somebody at one point in time that I was telling, you know, I understand that you like a little bit of crazy in your partner, but really, you do not necessarily deserve somebody that's just completely batshit insane. You really could have crazy without having to go to that level, right? There's a nice balance. What do you need such an extreme for? And they were dealing with somebody that was a little imbalanced, that fucking 6 months after they disappeared, they were still coming at me, having a problem with me, and then trying to accuse me of being the one having a problem. Just because I don't want to be friends with you or be around you because you're acting a little nuts does not mean that I have a problem with you. I just would prefer if you left me alone. Gift balance. So somebody may actually be bringing you a balance or a gift too. This could be for the hard work that you have put in. You may have planted some seeds. You may have communicated some things. You may have worked really hard at a situation. A situation could have been extremely important to you, which means you put a lot of time, effort, energy. You really tried to work things out in a certain situation. Or you really worked really hard to help somebody, or you worked really hard on your own dreams. Whatever it is that you worked really hard on, you could have even worked really hard to get your credit scored up and to get it looking good so that you could get into a home or something like that. But there is going to be gifts coming your way. There's going to be abundance flowing in. There's going to be fertility and growth. And a lot of this is because of your giving, generous heart and the way that you have worked so hard as well. Ooh, Cinderella and the pumpkin is what came in mind when I saw that. Because the pumpkin was turned into the carriage. You're almost going to feel like there's a fairy godmother just waving her wand over your life and creating abundance for you, because it's going to be flowing in as quickly as you've ever seen it, really. It's going to be like, I feel like a lot of you have not had a whole lot of abundance or fertility flowing in a long time. It's been like a drought, and you've been in this drought. 7 years of famine. And then it's like instantly out of nowhere, all of a sudden, it's like 7 years of abundance. But remember, while you're in these abundant times too, to put a little bit of aside for yourself. That does not make you selfish. Put a little bit aside for yourself. And you can still take care of the other people around you too when you can. Sometimes you can't put aside for yourself. And I understand that, because when it is a drought, there isn't anything to put aside for yourself. And everybody's like, oh, save up, and oh, put something aside for you, and oh, go to a spa day. But you know, not everybody can afford that. Although you can come to a nice little river beach like this and have your own damn spa day without having to pay for it. And you get just as good of mud with just as good of nutrients in it, if not better in some cases. Hi, Aish Masram. Nice to see you. I really hope I did not butcher that, but it sounded like it. It felt like it when I said it. But yeah, this is going to be a transformation. You have learned so much from the time period that you've been down. You needed to learn it. You needed to be there. You needed to gain those lessons, those insights, those awarenesses. And that way, when you come up, you're going to be a lot more humble. You're going to be a lot more kind. Humble and Kind by Tim McGraw. And you may have thought before you went into this, that you were a pretty humble and kind person, and you probably were. But the level of humbleness and kindness that you have received through this time period of lack and downfall and hurt and pain and being left in the cold and all of that kind of stuff is really showing you a whole new level. And you have really been able to see things that you never would have been able to see in any other position in life. And those things were necessary for your growth, necessary for the school of life in the field that you're going into, or the path that you're pursuing, or the purpose that you have in this world. So it's time to start being grateful and having gratitude for those hardships, for the down period and the hurt and pain that you went through. And it is so hard to do that. And there have been times where I've been very angry at people for telling me to do that. But it is very true that those things are what make us who we are. And that's why this new beginning is coming in. Also, you have been able to really open your heart, and you've been able to unlock the hearts of the people around you. You have really found a way to find your way in to locked doors, doors you were shut out of, doors you felt like would never open are opening for you. And your heart has opened so much more than it ever has been in your life. And if it hasn't happened yet, it's getting ready to just be bursting to overflowing. You are protected in your communication and the things that you're saying. 73, 111. Nobody is going to be able to hurt you with the words that are coming out of your mouth, with your communication, with the things you're expressing. And I feel like a lot of that too is because you really don't give a flying fuck anymore what anybody has to say, what anybody thinks, how anybody feels about what is coming out of your mouth, because it's coming out of your mouth. You are doing it in a kind way, a loving way, a mature and responsible way. And at the same time, you are saying what needs to be said. And you're going to continue saying it. You're listening to your intuition. You're following it. Some of you are remembering important details about people as well. And some of you are getting, there's definitely something here with music. Definitely something here with music. We got the guitar pick and we got 73 on here, which reminds me of somebody else who is a musician as well, who has actually been setting very heavy boundaries in his life to make sure that he has the time and space that he needs to work on the things that are important to him too. And so a lot of you have learned how to do that as well. And 63. This pick also has 73 on it right there. 0.73 millimeters. Dunlop. Sharp. USA. Sharp as a tack. You're very intelligent. Or you could be dealing with somebody that's very intelligent. Somebody could be finding you to be very intelligent. They could really love you for your mind. They could love you for the things that you do, for your creativity, for the things you come up with. Some of you could have written a song as well. And some of you could be actually getting ready to go to a studio to lay down a track. Your very first one for some of you. Have that confidence and that courage, because whatever you wrote is fucking phenomenal. My daughter, holy shit. She sent me a song yesterday that is like the most amazing song ever. And it's not an ADHD one like me where I got this song this big. It's a full song. And I couldn't have been happier or prouder of her. She gets into her emotions and she writes something like that. And I get into my emotions and I write something like, fuck all you fuckers. And at the same time, I've written stuff like that too. But, you know, it was absolutely beautiful. It was fucking amazing. And I absolutely just was mind blown by it. And honestly, I'm a little surprised that I did not cry when I read it. She wrote it while I was in jail. You're very welcome, sweetheart. Thank you, too. I really appreciate the comments, guys, the likes, the shares, the subscribes, the donations, the purchases, everything that you guys do to support this channel. It means the world to me. And there's a lot of you who have been there to send me encouraging messages at times. I fucking appreciate you guys so much more than you know. There's been once or twice throughout the last couple of years where the only thing that actually brought me a glimmer of hope was the people on here saying something to me. So thank you guys for supporting me as I'm here to support you guys. It really does make a difference. Every time you follow that voice inside of you to do things like that, it makes a difference, whether we believe it or not. There are people out there who need to hear the things that you have to say. And it's time to start expressing them. Expressing them with pure intentions, with kindness and with care, but still expressing them. And sometimes you gotta vent and you gotta express them in a different way. And you know what? What better way to do it than to put it in a song? 44 and 57 and 34. You could have dealt with a lot of people who who lie about so much. I've dealt with so much of that. And you know, they think that you don't see it, but I feel like a lot of you here are similar to me, where you see a lot of it. You may not know every single detail of it or every single bit of it, but you see a lot of it. And when you're proven right, it's just like, wow, okay, I did know. There was actually somebody recently that was like, yeah, but you knew. And I was like, yeah, but you lied. And they're like, yeah, but you knew. And I was like, yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that you lied. It doesn't matter if I knew. You were gaslighting me by telling me that I didn't know and that it wasn't true. And yeah, you came clean and you told me the truth, but still, that's what that is. And in order to not do it again, you kind of need to know that that's what that is. So there is also a song called Reversal. I think it's called Reversal. If I remember, I will share it later today. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't, guys. Sorry. Comment on my video later if you want me to share it. I think it's by Peach KKA, possibly. Don't quote me on that. But it's all the liars and the snakes, all the haters, everything that they're sending my way. It's all going to be seen clearly when I put it in the song that it's about it. Which reminds me, I have a song that I need to put on StoryTime at some point later. And if you don't know what that is yet, I have a link for it in the description box below. That is my channel where I have a lot of short stories. I have a lot of poetry, and I have a lot of songs, little miniature, like ADHD songs, because they're little tiny songs. Oh, and the one that just popped into my mind is, I got 2 angels, didn't you know? I got 2 angels wherever I go. I got 2 angels with 4 legs and fur. I got 2 angels, I think you'd concur. So some of you could have pets that you absolutely adore and love as well. Some of you could have actually came close to losing them recently. Some of you, your pets could be the only thing that got you out of bed some mornings. Remember to remind them how much they mean to you on a regular basis as well. Because some of you may forget to let them know how loved they are sometimes. That person could definitely be here watching today too. Val V, good morning, beautiful. I'm doing good today. How are you doing today? So let's see what else we got here. Snake Princess, the serpentine path to power. Villain era is coming to mind again too. Some of you might have picked pile 1 as well. If you were thinking about it and decided not to, this is your confirmation to go check it out. Villain era, good song. So I heard the girls are entering their villain era. Be careful. It's the dark feminine era, and baby, they need to feel it. Even if it hurts, they need to feel it. Sometimes they need to feel that. What you put out, I'm going to give back to you. I'm not saying this is the right thing necessarily, but you know what? I'm sick of putting out what I'm not getting back from people. So some of you as well are just deciding, you know what? You're not giving me the right energy, the right feeling. You're not giving me honesty. You're not giving me truth. You're not, you know, treating me respectfully or whatever. And you're just deciding, okay, I'm going to start treating you how you're treating me. There was one time where somebody messaged me and they're like, you know, you could message me if you were missing me. And I'm like, well, you know what? I figured last time I was the one who initiated contact. And this time it was your turn to initiate contact. If you're not going to initiate contact, well, I guess I'll just go find some other people to be around, because it needs to be an equal give and take. And that's the way it is. There's nothing wrong with needing to make sure that people are giving what you're giving in situations. Well, you came to the right place, beautiful, and I'm pretty sure you're going to find those answers, because you were drawn here for a reason. Thank you again to anybody who supports me through the various methods, because you know what? That helps people to find this place too. And if it feels like it's a healing space for you that has taught you a lot, then, you know, It will be for others too. You are unlike anyone else. Your contradictions and complexities are interesting. Little owlin, wisdom as light as a feather. It's funny because you know what? Sometimes I get into tangents sometimes about, like, say the Bible. The Bible has so many fucking contradictions in it. It's ridiculous. Every single thing you find in there, pretty much, you can find the opposite in there too. Pretty much everything. And it's that way with pretty much every person too, really. There's a lot of contradictions when it comes to the things we say or the things we think. But it's also, when you have a lot of contradictions inside of yourself like that, you're able to open-mindedly look at things and look at things from different perspectives and understandings and shift your viewpoints and your standpoints on certain issues, which is a really good thing to be able to do. I need to message him. So I'm glad that he just commented on my Facebook page, because I'll remember that later. I really want to. I'm going to set something up. The Mermaid of Immersion. Complete Commitment. 44. That has came up twice, actually, since I've been reading this pile. And 42 again. 42 is actually like the God number of the universe as well, by the way. Which is funny that it's actually the, like, temptation looking pile here. Lilith. There's a song called Lilith too. You're accepting more fully every aspect of yourself. You're not anymore trying to, at all odds, always take the high road every second and being really extremely hard on yourself if you fall, or if you decide to take this other road that, you know, looked good for a minute and ended up being not so good or whatever. You're not being so hard on yourself anymore. And if you still are, it's time to kind of ease up on yourself. If you can have grace, forgiveness, understanding, empathy, and compassion for so many other people around you, you can have it for you too. And nothing is bad in moderation. I'm going to say that too. Nothing is bad in moderation. It's when we start overly using anything that it becomes extremely bad in our lives, or overly allowing anything. It's okay to allow somebody to, you know, do certain things, or speak in certain ways, or whatever, you know. But there's certain points where it's time to say something about it and do something about it. That one I feel like is something that a lot of people are working on right now, speaking up and expressing themselves in certain situations and not doing everything to make others happy on an all the time basis. You've been working very steadily. You've been very committed, dedicated. You've been working and growing and building something. And I feel like you have built a lot for everyone around you for so long. But now it's time to kind of switch gears and start building something for you too. And not worrying so much about making everyone around you happy, because you're never going to be able to make everyone around you happy, no matter what you do. That's an impossible thing to be able to do. That's also where you start speaking your mind more freely too, because you're not so worried about who's going to like it or who isn't going to like it, and whether or not they're going to accept you, and whether or not it's okay. And that's where you're able to write down your purest emotions in your music, or in your poetry, or in your stories, or in your paintings. It doesn't even matter. You're able to put your most truest form of yourself in there, both the light and the shadow, and you're able to bring some amazingly beautiful and abundant things to life because of it. Scrying, intuition, wisdom as light as a feather. So listen to that intuition, listen to the wisdom you got inside yourself. And you may want to try out some different forms of scrying. I actually have a crystal ball. I haven't used it as much on here as I want to, because it takes up a lot of space, and then I ended up having to move out of my RV and into my van, and so I have even less space now, and it's still sitting in my RV, and it's fragile, so I don't want to leave it out unless I have somewhere steady to put it. 83 and 44. You may have a decision to make as well between two different situations or people, or you may be your intuition may be picking up on certain things that it's time to kind of listen to and hone in on. So meditating may be helpful. There's also water scrying. If you don't have something like a crystal ball, you can water scry. You can scry in the rocks around you. I mean, you can pick up a rock and you can check it out, and you can find all different kinds of things in there. Different lines or different pictures or different meanings that you're picking up on in those things. Fire scrying is another good way of scrying. Any of the elements really there's good things to be able to scry with each of them. I was looking at this tree last night and I was like, wow, that knot hole on this tree looks like a minotaur. In the labyrinth, unnecessary fear. And Lady de los Muertos, acceptance and equality. Some of you might be a little bit overly fearful of death, or overly fearful of endings in your life, or overly fearful of letting go of things once they've played their course. And it may be time to open yourself up a bit more to closing the doors when the past goes away, so that you can walk through the new doors and so that you can move forward a little bit quicker in your life. There's also a need to drop some of the judgments you have. Because when we're judging ourselves like that and we're so harsh with ourselves, overly critical, upset with ourselves on a regular basis like that, we spend a lot of time judging other people too and projecting onto them as well. There may be a lot of unnecessary fear that you're dealing with in a certain situation or a certain relationship. Fear that you don't need to have. There could actually even be somebody that may be passing away that you are afraid of, that is going to pass away suddenly. And the universe doesn't want you to be fearful of this situation, because they're going to be doing what's necessary to clear your path or remove these obstacles. That could be something as well. But that's only going to be for like 1 or 2 people. That's not going to be for everybody. I feel like you may really be afraid that something is going to end that is not going to end. Something where somebody is extremely committed to working things out with you, or towards accepting you and being equal with you and treating you with respect and care and kindness. Somebody may be very committed to you, but you might be worried about them having an affair on the side or having somebody else. And really all they want is you, and all they're focused on is you. But you could have had somebody in your past that was, you know, you guys had this thing between you where it was just going to be the 2 of you. And if there was going to be other people, you guys would go your separate ways, or you would tell each other about it, or whatever, you know. And you could have been very honest with that, very committed, very dedicated or loyal, put a lot of time, energy, effort into a situation. And the other person did not reciprocate that. And it may have taken you a while to see it, mostly because you did not want to see it. And so now you might have these fears coming up, and you're thinking, maybe this is my intuition though, and it's not just the fears. Because last time I didn't listen to it and it ended up being true. But last time you weren't afraid of it either. Your fears sometimes, after pain or hurt or trauma, can really sound like the real thing. But sometimes that's not what's going on. And it's time to really examine the situations in front of you to see if those things are really going on, or if it's just the fear you have inside of you of those things happening. Your ideas are the best ones that I have heard, and you give them away like it's nothing. You never mind sharing your perspectives and your stories. You're an amazing storyteller too. Somebody may want to come forward and express some sort of truth to you too, and you may actually even get some sort of job offer when it comes to your creativity as well. Something that's going to bring you a lot of money, stability, strength. You may be getting a lot of support, commitment, and dedication from the community around you too. The way that they have been treating you may actually be shifting and changing as well, because they may have been filled with a lot of lies about you. People could have been really cruel in the way that they treated you in the past, and they could have really did some pretty messed up things behind your back that caused a lot of people to be looking at you in a harsh light. But that's shifting and changing, and people are seeing the reality and the truth now, and they're realizing who you are as a person. And it's not what those people told them you were as a person. And so their perspectives are shifting and changing, and there's a lot more support coming your way. So remember to be open-minded and forgiving when it comes to people shifting the way that they're behaving towards you. Don't feel like there is some sort of ulterior motive, or there's some sort of nefarious thing going on, because honestly, these people are afraid to apologize to you, but that's one of the biggest things they're wanting to do, is to apologize to you. Kind of reminds me when somebody actually came to me recently. I'm going to run back to my vehicle for something really quick. Somebody came to me recently, and they were asking me about some of the gossip that they had heard about me. And they're like, I kind of want to ask you if this is true, because, you know, I've met you now, and I'm pretty sure that this is not true at all. And she's like, but I don't even know if I should even be asking you because it's really bad. And I don't know. Now that I said it out loud, I don't really want to ask. And I was like, you know what? Go ahead. Because I've heard so many things and people have said so many messed up things about me and none of them have been true, you know? But the people who matter and the people who are good in my life and the people that I actually want in my life are the ones that either aren't going to believe it, are going to apologize if they did, or they're going to come and ask me about it. And you know what? Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much that you came and asked me about this instead of just believing it without even caring or spreading it around to other people. And what she had to say is that somebody told her that I stabbed my ex in the eye with a fork. Fucking crazy ass shit. Yeah, that never happened. Some of them I might want to. At certain points in my anger, I might have wanted to, not anymore, but I might have wanted to then. At certain points in my anger, I mean, one of them was coming at me one day and I was just like, come on, motherfucker, I might actually be able to take you out. Yep, I'm ready for this. Luckily, his ex-girlfriend kind of slammed him into the wall and stopped him from it. And then his friend came in the back door and seen what was going on and tackled him into the kitchen. And then they were trying to kill each other. And then I'm feeling bad because I'm like, oh shit, I don't want anybody killing each other over me. And so we had to de-escalate that situation, and I needed some outside help to de-escalate that situation, which is the only time that I've ever, with anybody else involved, got, hold of the cops here, because, yeah, the cops here are pretty fucked up, and I didn't know it till that moment. But anyway, there's a lot of things that happen like that. And people have nothing better to do, especially if you live in a small town sometimes, than to focus on everybody else's lives and talk about them. You know how many people I know that spend all their time knowing all these facts about celebrities and all that kind of shit? I've never really kept track of that. I can understand why they want to do that and like the trivia of it. And, they like getting to know those people that they enjoy in those movies so much. I can understand that. And at the same time, I don't know any of those people. And we don't know who they actually are in their private lives and things like that. But a lot of people focus a lot of their time and energy on that because they don't have a whole lot going on in their life. Or just because they do enjoy the trivia of it, or knowing those things, or, knowing the people that they're supporting too. Because some of them, it's because they want to know who this person is that they're supporting. And anyway, a couple days later, she showed me who this woman was. And I was like, I've never even seen that woman in my life, although that woman worked at the place where my ex's nieces used to work. She was the manager there. And I was like, you know what? They've spread so many lies about me. One of them was actually going around town telling everybody that I beat my mother-in-law up when she's the one who put her hands on me. And it took every ounce of strength and patience within me not to lay my hands back on her, because I knew I was going to regret touching or hurting the woman that I called mother for 10 years. I really did not want anything like that to happen. And then I told her that, you know what? You didn't believe that your son put his hands on me, but he learned it from you. So why don't you look in the mirror? Because you're the one who taught him that, bitch. You taught him that if he can't control somebody or somebody's not doing what he wants them to put his hands on him. So what do you think happens when people break out of his control? Yeah, same thing you just did to me. Valvi, I actually spoke to my narc ex today. I know it's not the best decision, but it resonates to what you're saying. I understand that very much so. I've dealt with some people that have some high levels of narcissism. Only about 2% of the population is actual narcissists, like clinically narcissistic. But there are some people who have some fairly high levels of narcissism, even if they can't be put on that clinical scale of it. And I've dealt with a fair amount of them. And it's amazing because everybody's like, oh, you can never change a narcissist. Well, they don't know because they've never tried, for one thing. And some of them know. People have to want to change to actually change. 5422. People have to want to change to actually change. They're not going to change unless they want to change. And sometimes holding that mirror in front of them, yeah, they do actually look at it and go, holy fuck, who am I? I don't want to be this person anymore. And then they change, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they avoid looking at that mirror even when it's right up pressed against their nose. And generally, that's when they start getting extremely bad karma because they refuse to listen to the universe. You are so kind and aware of others, truly perceptive. And you read a room like no other. Children and animals love you. So do most people because you're very empathetic. And that's where that narcissist thing comes into too. You know, they say like attracts like and you get what you give. But here's the thing. When it comes to magnets, what do they attract? The opposites. People attract opposites too. And there is a reason for it. Because a lot of empaths will not stand up and defend themselves. They will not step into that dark side. They don't want to hurt anybody to the point that they will let everybody trample all over them instead of it. But when they learn how to take their power back, set those boundaries, and not worry about the hurt feelings of others so much, even though they're so sensitive and even though they can pick up on those emotions and even though they hurt for them, they realize that it may hurt them, but they needed this because tough love is love too. That's when those people change. Because those people are taught now that no, it's not okay to do that. And no, they're not just going to let me repeatedly do that. And I need to shift and change my behavior if I want to be a part of their life. And if I'm not going to, they're not going to have me in their life. And it's okay if they walk away. It's okay if they're not in your life anymore. And that's when you break out of that victimhood mentality and you step up into that I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. I will survive. Keep on surviving. Thought I would be broke without you, but I'm richer. Thought I would be helpless without you, but I'm stronger. And that's what it is. You're stepping up into that power, and your power is creating so many opportunities for you in the near future. And you are gaining that confidence, and you're doing what you want to do. And you are finally, instead of sacrificing everything you are for everyone else in your life, like you have for so fucking long, you are finally deciding it's time to build something for me. And if everybody walks away, or if everybody disappears, or if everybody wants to be an asshole because of it, that's not my problem. Because it's my fucking turn to have something for me for a fucking change. And you guys should be here supporting me like I've been here to support you every step along the way. Every step. And there is nothing wrong with that. That is not called entitlement. That is not called narcissism. That is not called selfishness. That is called I'm taking back the power of my fucking life from your fucking hands. And you're no longer going to be the fucking conductor of the things that I do. And no, I do not regret doing all the things that I did. I do not regret giving as much as I did. I do not regret the sacrifices I made to lift everyone else up, even if they weren't there when it was my turn. Because I know that that's who I am. And I can still do that, but I need to do it in the moderated level, especially at this time, because I have stuff to do for me too. And how am I supposed to take care of anybody else if my cup isn't full too? The song Cups by Anna Kendrick just came to mind too. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone, when I'm gone, when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. My voice is a little bit this morning, but I don't care. Your makeup and hair is always on point. You're very good at designing, whether it be a house, fashion, or advertising. You're very creative, a genius in how you see things and put them together. And so not only are you going to be creating your creations, you're going to be advertising them yourself. You're going to be networking. You're going to be really getting out there and putting yourself out there. You're going to be connecting to the community more. You're going to be interacting with people more. You're not going to be worried so much about, I need to keep my circle small and only have a few people around me. You're going to be putting a little bit of time into each place. And those people are going to be putting a little bit of time into you too. And then you're going to have a couple people that are a little bit closer. But you're going to be okay with spreading yourself out a bit more and doing a bit more in that way and not worrying so much or being so paranoid or fearful about what's going to happen if you have that bigger circle of people who know a little bit more information about you, because it takes them knowing more information about you to be able to support you or to be able to give to what you're doing or to be able to have those opportunities come in so that you can turn your craft into something. It does take networking for that. And that's what networking is. Reminding me of like popularity contests. You put so much effort into anything that you're passionate about. Your work ethic and your spirit are amazing traits to have. I don't know how you work so hard and keep going no matter what, but you do. So there's a lot of people right now as well talking about you in your community. They may be a little bit hesitant about it, but there's a lot of people that are talking about you right now. And there's a lot of honest things coming out about you, truthful things coming out about you. People who have gotten to see a little bit more under the layers because you kind of dropped your guard a bit and you've been allowing people to see more of who you are, which means all of those lies, all of that gossip, all of that crap in the background, they're no longer going to be believing. Kind of like that woman I was talking about earlier where she's like, I've met you and I don't believe that at all anymore. Because that doesn't match the person sitting in front of me. And that's what happens when you start getting out there more and allowing yourself to drop that guard and allowing yourself to talk to people a bit more and allowing yourself to just be who you are a bit more. Instead of feeling like you need to hide parts of yourself away or feeling like you won't be accepted or heard or you'll be misunderstood. You just put yourself out there and don't care about it. And now those people are seeing who you are and it turns everything around for you because those people are no longer believing any of the lies or drama or bullshit. And you really can't blame them if they didn't know you and you were kind of secretive and it felt like you were hiding something or maybe lying about something and they didn't really know what was going on. So they were guessing at it. And since they had people filling their ears with stuff while they're guessing at it, some of those guesses were pretty wrong. But now those people are getting proven wrong. They're being humbled. And you're going to have to really be a bit open when it comes to forgiving some of those people, because some of those people are going to be the people that are going to be bringing opportunities to your doorstep too. So that's what I have for you, Pile 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I would love to hear what you guys had to say about it in the comments below. Remember, you guys, this is kind of an anonymous zone here, really, when you're speaking on YouTube. So you can throw your venting down there. You can talk about your story. You can share the things that you've gone through. And not only does it help you to heal and expressing those things, because the more times we express those things, the more we heal. And the more that other people heal because they see your story and they're like, whoa, I'm not alone. I can relate to this. And also, I love to hear your guys' stories too. And every time you place a comment down below, it helps me to be able to support myself as I'm here to support you guys on your path, 222 and 44. Remember to listen to that nudge from spirit when they tell you to give back in certain ways, you guys, because that's what brings you success. It also builds that stable foundation for yourself as well. You're going to be celebrating so much success in your partnerships, your friendships, your family relationships. Everything's going to be coming together really well. And you're going to be healing a lot of those relationships that everybody told you you could never heal and that you should run away from and run for the hills. You had unnecessary fear that people droned into your head. And it's time to let that go in favor of love and unity, peace, of healing conflicts. It's time to let go of the pride. Pride goeth before a fall is a poem that I wrote on Dee's Storytime. You can find a link for that in the description box below. And that talks about that. So once again, thank you guys for your support, the likes, shares, comments, subscribes, timestamps, donations, purchases, anything that you guys do, leaving a super thanks sticker, all that stuff really helps me out so much, you guys. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching, guys. Bye-bye. Pile 3. For you guys. I decided to set these stones I just found next to this. So I feel like transparency is coming in certain situations that have been foggy or hard to see through. You're going to start to see through them. 44 again. You're going to start to see certain things. Truth is going to be coming. Somebody may have been hiding certain things or not really wanting to express certain things. They could have been nervous, worried, scared. Other people might be finding out just how much protection you have in your favor. We got Ranger, Con Air, one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. This patch reminds me of that because he was a Army Ranger. And he ended up going to prison for 10 years for defending his wife from some drunk guy that was getting belligerent and abusive. And he was there for a reason though. Because you know what? When it came down to it, when he was getting ready to be released and he got on that plane with everybody, if it wasn't for him, a lot more people would have died that day. And he came out of it a hero in the end. He should have got something for that. I don't think he did, but he should have. Should have got some sort of recognition for that. There could be somebody that really doesn't look like much around you, or somebody that most people don't think as much. Could even be somebody that you distrusted very fully for a while. Somebody's going to be standing up for you. Somebody is going to be defending you in some sort of way. Defending how you make your money, possibly, for some of you. Or somebody could be... somebody could actually be fighting to get money back that was stolen from you in some way as well. Follow the yellow brick road just came to mind. Follow, 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 follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. The power is inside of you, and it's been inside of you all the time. Some of you could definitely have felt like you were drowning at points recently, but you're going to be coming up out of that drowning energy. Not gonna drown in the water, 'cause the good Lord ain't bringing me home. That's a song called Not Gonna Drown, if you want to go hear it. It actually came on at a point in time where somebody was talking about doing just that, drowning himself and me. And then I started laughing, and it kind of scared that person, I think, a little bit, because I pointed out the song, and I was like, hey, what'd I tell you? The only person dying here today is you if you go that route. Besides, I've never been too fond of the Romeo and Juliet story. The sun is coming out. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. So stick out your chin and grin and say, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, you're only a day away. So if there's been some distance between you and somebody, because there has to be at this time, something happened, or you can't be around each other for some reason in some sort of way, it's time to remember that you were good on your own before they came into your life, and you're going to be good when they're gone. It's time to really be able to be independent and show that independence. Both of you need to know that the other one can survive without them. Somebody may even be throwing themselves on the line for you as well in some way, taking accountability for something. Holding out for a hero. You're aligning, learning, growing, overcoming. Somebody may even be standing up against somebody that's been slandering you in some way or gossiping about you in some way. Once again, that could have something to do with the way that you make your money. Or somebody has left you out in the cold in some way. But somebody else is noticing, appreciating, and valuing what you have to offer. 444. Your foundation is solid, firm, strong. You've learned, you've grown, you've put those lessons into action in your life. And this is bringing you success. You're going to be celebrating a lot of success in the near future. There was definitely a lot of people in the past that did not value what you had to offer or took you for granted in some sort of way, but your hard work is bringing in a new beginning. Your hard work to align yourself and to believe in what really matters. I need a drink really quick, guys. That gives that loud ass vehicle time to pass by too. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby. If I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings. Some just want everything. But everything means nothing if I ain't got you. So some of you are coming into a really strong, good connection. Somebody that doesn't care what you have finances wise, and vice versa. Somebody that doesn't care what the outward appearances look like. Somebody who can wear 2 mismatched shoes while walking down the street because they really just don't care what anybody thinks about it. Ooh, thrift shop. And sexy, and I know it. I'm sexy and I know it. With leopard print pants and a big afro. Check out my leopard print pants. And I'm also wearing, I was also wearing with them yesterday a tiger striped shirt. So yeah, spots and stripes do go together because they go together on me. So that's the type of energy that the people who are watching this pile are. You have a lot of very different eclectic styles and different things about you. You're very out of the ordinary, out of the box, and you really don't give a shit about the shallow aspects of life. You're an extremely deep person, and you care more about those things that are worth caring about. But it's also because you learned that. Just like this person learned that too. You both learned it through the hardships or trials that you've gone through, or through people who did not value you for those things inside of yourself, or possibly for you not valuing somebody else at some point who had all of those things. 111 and 44. And you've learned and you've grown, and there's this new beginning coming for you because of it. Keep your hope alive, because it may seem dark at the moment, or it may have been previously dark, but it's all lighting up now. Once again, the sun will come out tomorrow, and that's the energy of this reading. Loyalty, commitment. Golden retrievers are some of the fucking best dogs in the world when it comes to loyalty, commitment, unconditional love. Unconditional love. That means Ed Sheeran's song where he's talking about, I'll still be loving you at 70. Unconditional love. Somebody's paralyzed, they're still going to be there. Somebody can no longer make money ever again in their life, they're still going to be there. Somebody lives in their car, they're going to come live in there with you. If they can't change it and they can't give you somewhere better to live, they're going to live there with you. And they're going to be there with you through every step of the way. They're going to earn that position in your life, and you're going to earn your position in their life. And you guys may even have a lot of learning and growing to do together as well. But it's bringing this success, this stable, strong foundation. That distance, that time away from each other is also something that's causing that too, because it's causing you both to realize, you know, distance makes the heart grow fonder. And you guys are realizing just how much the other person means to you, and vice versa. Lucky cricket. You do things very differently, because this is reminding me of Mulan too. When will my reflection show who I am inside? Well, now is when your reflection is going to stop being so foggy. Look at it's a heart too. Ooh, I've been finding so many heart rocks lately, and I just realized that rock I just picked up before your reading was actually a heart rock. And somebody's heart was on ice for a bit, but it's fucking diamond heart. A diamond in the rough. Now Aladdin's coming to mind too. A diamond in the rough. Somebody that most people would think is trash. Riff raff, street rat, I don't buy that. If only they'd look closer, would they see a poor boy? No siree. They'd find out there's so much more to me. So you are somebody who's looking deeper in a situation that's going to bring you a lot of luck. You're both listening to your conscience. You're both listening to your heart. You're both really diving into this beautiful situation. And it's aligning you with your divine path, which is going to bring in so much abundance for the both of you. You guys don't even see this coming yet. But it doesn't even matter, because the most abundance you have, both of you know, is right in front of you in the other person. You are no longer allowing your shine to be hidden and blocked out of view in favor of making others feel comfortable about their shine that is just as beautiful. It just may not be as big. You're ready to allow yourself to step out into that leadership role to show that hope, faith, joy, love, and light that you bring in your leadership. And these people are going to be ready to follow. You're not going to be dealing with the jealousy. You're not going to be dealing with the resentment anymore. You're not going to be dealing with people that are lashing out at you because of who you are anymore. And a lot of that is because you've also learned how to behave differently in those situations, to where it creates a different outcome when you're dealing with those people too. You're very colorful, bright, beautiful, unique. And because you're able to come out of that box and show that shine, other people feel like they can do that too. If I'm shining, everybody gonna shine. I was born like this, don't even gotta try. Heard you say I'm not the baddest bitch alive. Ha ha. And baby, I'm not just a snack. I'm the whole damn meal. And the juice ain't worth the squeeze if the juice don't look like this. You also have just decided, you know what? It doesn't matter if I go from one person to the next till I find what I'm looking for, because I'm wanting something specific. And everybody else may say I'm too picky, but no, I'm going to find it. And that's the whole thing, is because you chose that path, you have found it. And now you're inspiring other people to do the same as well. I knew that one was going to go up today. Some of you may be predicting certain things too, especially in a financial sector. And if you get a little bit of money, it's time to put some money into some certain investments, because it's going to bring you some extra abundance. But make sure that you are researching and looking into those things first, so that you understand and know exactly what you're supporting when you put your money into them. Cancer, 69, 22/6, 22/7. So from June 22nd to July 22nd. Reconciliation, equal give and take in love, protecting, defending, loyalty, kindness, caregiving, joy, beauty, divinely guided path towards bringing peace and harmony to the connections around you. You are leading a lot of people to unity, love, light, caring, joy, happiness. Some of you are becoming friends with the partner of an ex, or becoming friends with a woman that used to be in competition with you in some sort of way, or something along those lines. Even just people in general that are in competition with you in some sort of way. Things that are broken may be coming back together. What's funny is this actually used to be on this, and it was a bracelet together. And I've never had those two come out in the same reading together like that, even in different piles. So it's like, this is going to be a pairing that is so different from everything that you've had in your life. It could even remind you of like a crush that you had when you were a child, because you know what? When I was 10 years old, there was two people I had an extremely large crush on as far as celebrities went. And it wasn't like that celebrity. It was like, I didn't have a crush on Nicolas Cage because I could have gave a shit less about him than anything else. But in Con Air, that was the fucking man right there. That was the man right there. Protect and defend the people that he loves and cares about. And he was done so fucking dirty and so fucking wrong because of it. In this world, do you know how many people in this country go to fucking jail for the rest of their entire fucking life for defending their family and killing somebody in the process? There are so many people in this country that spend the rest of their lives in prison because of that. And that is so sad. That is so fucked up. And yet, in my state, there are so many people that are sex offenders that end up on probation. And their biggest excuse for that is because there's no treatment for them in prison. They don't get the help that they need. Well, neither do drug users. Otherwise, they wouldn't reoffend when they get out. That's not treatment for drug offenders either. Yeah, sure, you get them off of it while they're in there, but they did not address their underlying problems. And 9 times out of 10, they got worse while they were in there. Because while they were in there, it triggered their PTSD. It triggered their past trauma and their past abuse, like it did me. I was only in jail for 3 weeks, and wow, it's amazing the things it triggered. Not to mention the fact that I do not do well being locked up in a box. It's fucking insane. Yeah, you know what? Go somewhere else with your fucking racist ass bullshit, because we don't want it here. That's disgusting and awful. It's awful. Ugh. It has nothing to do with the surface anyway. It has to do with deeper. Ew. Ew. And you know what? Honestly, I find it black women, a lot of them anyway, not all of them, because not all of them are the same, but I found a lot of black women to be extremely attractive, especially since most of them were the ones leading the way for everybody else to get a big fat fucking mouth and say what needs to be said. Just saying. Ugh. Gross energy. I don't like your gross energy. Grounding yourself is going to be very beneficial to the abundance that's coming into you as well. A time to say goodbye. Something is about to end for now. So something in your life might be about to end for the moment. Or you may be ending it, or the other person may be ending it, or something along those lines may be happening. But it is going to come back together. This is one that is going to come back together. I am reborn. The butterfly ferrets, the butterfly effect too just came to mind. So somebody might actually be remembering some of the things from their past too. Miss Spiderweb, which could cause some things. Reconsider your alliances and make new connections. A safe place for you to go. Brother Raccoon. You have a friend around you who's a safe place for you to go. I actually found out that somebody... Ugh. Gross. That's disgusting. Why don't you just... Ugh. We don't need your energy in this world. I'll say that. In this world. Literally. Quite literally. This is disgusting energy. But I'm going to stop paying attention to it because I don't want to feel it no more. And also because I already reported them, and that's pretty much all you can do. And then you just got to let it go so it's not bothering you or anybody else. And not carry it with you. A safe place for you to go, cast away out of your depth, feeling abandoned. So some of you may feel abandoned by whatever's going to happen in the near future. And you may go to a friend that's close to you that reminds you of your brother, that may be able to help you and listen to you and is very kind to you at that moment in time. One that's not looking for anything other than to be there for you because you've been there for them in some way. This person may be a little bit sneaky, a little mischievous. They may actually have some issues. Some of them might be a pathological liar, or some of them might actually have a problem with sticky fingers at times, or whatever the case may be. But this person is somebody that makes you feel safe in a lot of ways, and they may actually be somebody who is a shoulder for you to cry on in your time of need as well. You are okay reaching out and asking for that help that you need from this person as well. Four of Cups. Somebody may not see what they have in front of them, but this ending is going to cause the situation to be reborn. There's going to be new energy, passion, drive, motivation. It's going to cause a lot of new to come into the situation, and it's going to be reborn in a different way. There's going to be changes which are going to bring success, and it's going to bring a much more solid foundation because everybody's figuring out at the beginning what they have in front of them instead of so far down the line, because I feel like this is something a bit newer as well, but you're very close at this time, even if it is a bit newer. So it's gonna hurt a lot. The Witch, the earthly weaver of the worlds. Thank you. Barmbrack, sweetness and synergy. Ghost, regret. So somebody may have a lot of regret about certain things that they have done. Somebody may actually end up having a lot of regret about ghosting you or just disappearing on a situation in some way. But this is something that is going to cause not just them to learn, but you to learn as well. Both of you are going to learn from the situation at hand. And it's going to cause both of you to be able to level up in a lot of ways where you're really going to realize what's most important in your life, so that you can create a better, more truthful and honest life for yourselves. So that's what I got for this pile. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I would love to hear what you guys had to say about it. whether or not it resonated, what you might have going on, all that kind of stuff. And if you guys did enjoy this reading, remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a timestamp, donation, hit the little super thanks button. All that stuff really helps me out. It helps me to be able to support myself, as I'm here to support you guys on your paths. So thank you guys for that, and I really am extremely grateful for the things that you guys do to support me and this channel. And I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys.